Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to go through the entirety of this WJEC Mathematics Unit 1 Non-Calculator Intermediate Tier paper from May 2023. So as you can see, there are 20 questions in total, coming to 80 marks, and the paper is allocated 1 hour 45 minutes. As usual, we have the information about using pi as 3.14 and the colours for the pen. As this is intermediate level, then we have the formula sheet which shows the area of a trapezium and the volume of a prism. So question 1, write down 2/5, 9% and 0.3 in ascending order. You must show your workings. So for this question, we need to convert these all to the same form. So I either need to convert them to a fraction, percentage, or a decimal. So I'm going to start turning them all into a decimal. So 2/5 is equal to, so 1/5 is equal to 0.2, so 2/5 is equal to 0.4. We could also think about that as there are 4 5s in 20, so in 2 we have to move the decimal point 1 step to the left. Next up, 9%. So this is equal to 9 divided by 100, which is 0.09. So that is the smallest. The next is the 0.3, and then finally we have the 2/5. And we should write it down in the same form that they'd given it to us at the beginning. So this should be 9%. So the area of a rectangle is 80 centimeters squared, and they've drawn us a rectangle. The length of the rectangle is 5 times its width. Calculate the length and the width of the rectangle. So length multiplied by width is equal to the area. So the length multiplied by the width is equal to 80. We're told that the length is 5 times the width, so we can say that L is equal to 5W. So we have 5W multiplied by W is equal to 80. So this gives 5W squared is equal to 80. So W squared is equal to 80 over 5, which is equal to 16. So W is equal to the square root of 16, which is equal to 4, and therefore L is equal to 5 times 4, which is equal to 20. Solve the following equation. So x is equal to, so we're dividing by 3, which means we have to take it to the other side and change that to a times. So we're going to have 8 times 3, which is 24. So on this next one, we have 3x minus 10 is equal to 17. So first of all, we're going to bring all the numbers to the same side. So we have 3x is equal to 17. So to bring the 10 to the other side, it's going to swap sign because it's subtracting. It's going to become plus. So that is equal to 27. So x is equal to 27 divided by 3, which is 9. So x equals 9. Simplify the following, so we have to bring like terms together. So we're first going to start off with these two f terms. So we've got 6f plus 2f, which is 8f. And then we have minus 4g minus 9g. So minus 4 minus 9 is minus 13. And then the g carries through. Which of the following is nearest to 5 kilograms? So 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds. Therefore, we have 5 times 2.2. So 5 times 2 is 11. 2 times 5 is 10. 0.2 times 5 is another 1. So that gives us the 11. So the answer is 11 pounds. Which of the following is nearest to the volume of 100 litres? So 1 pint is equal to 568 millilitres. So this means that 1 litre is roughly equal to 2 pints. Therefore, the answer is 200. Rianne is n years old. Simar is 7 years younger than Rianne. Nigel is twice as old as Samara. Write down an expression in terms of n for Nigel's age. So we're told that Nigel is twice as old as Samara. So Nigel is 2 times Samara's age. So let's call Nigel capital N, and his age is 2 times S. We're told that Samara is 7 years younger than Rianne. So Samara, S, is Rianne's age, take away 7. So that's N minus 7. Or little n minus 7. So this means Nigel is 2 times, and we can replace the S with N minus 7, which we have to put in brackets. So we can then multiply through. So this is going to give us 2n minus 14. So the mean of 4 numbers is 7. What is the total of the 4 numbers? So when we find the mean, we add all the numbers up and we divide by the number of numbers there are, in which case there's 4. So if we divide by 4 to find the mean, we have to times by 4 to answer this question. So we got 7 times 4, which is 28. So find a set of numbers such that their mean is 7 and their range is 6. Okay, so we need to find numbers that total 28. So I'm going to write this as A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 28. And the range, which is the biggest minus the smallest, so this is D minus A, is equal to 6. Okay, so they don't say that they don't say that these numbers have to be different from each other. So I'm going to start off by just putting 7 in these middle 2 numbers, which means that the middle 2 numbers total 14. So B plus C is 14, which means that A plus D must also equal 14. However, we know that D is equal to 6 plus A. So if I rearrange D minus A and I bring the A to the other side, we get D is 6 plus A. If I substitute that in, we have A plus 6 plus A is equal to 14, which means that 2A is equal to 8 because the 6 comes over and becomes minus 6, so 14 minus 6 is 8, which means that A is equal to 4, so we can put that in there. And now we just need a number which is 10 bigger than this, which is 6 bigger than this, which is 10. And if we add all these numbers up, we got 4 and 7 is 11, plus 7 is 18, plus 10 is 28, which is what our mean, when times by the number of numbers there are, equals. So question 7, find the size of each of the angles A, B and C. So starting off with A, so we can see that this is two parallel lines which form a Z. So A is equal to 63 because angles in the Z are the same. Again, we've got two parallel lines here and here, which means that because they're intersecting a straight line, this angle here is also 63 degrees. We have a straight line, so we can do 180 minus 63, which is equal to 117. So B is 117 degrees. To find C, this is opposite B, so this is also 117 degrees, but also it's on this straight line with a double arrow on it. So again, we can check that because this angle here is 63 degrees, C must also be 117. Two fair spinners are shown below. In a game, the number shown by the 2 pointers are added together. In the diagram, the score gained would be 2 plus 3, which equals to 5. A winning score is 6 or more. How many winning scores would you expect in a game of 60 times? You must show all your workings. So first of all, the total number of possibilities. So for every number on spin A, there are 4 possible numbers that spinner B can also be on. So we're going to end up with 3 times 4, which is 12. So we could have 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 2 4, or 3 1, 3 2, 3 3, 3 4. That's our 12 possibilities. Now we're looking to see what possibilities can add up to a number of 6 or more. So we can have 1 plus 4 is the biggest we can have if the spinner A lands on 1, which is 5, which isn't big enough. So we're going to have a look at the 2s. So the only way we're going to get to a 6 if we land on 2 on spinner A is if it goes to 2 plus 4, which is 6. So we're going to call this winning options. With 3, we can either have it as 3 plus 3, which equals to 6, or we can have 3 plus 4, which equals 7. So total winning options is equal to 3. So therefore, possibility or probability of winning is equal to 3 over 12. However, they're going to play 60 games, so then expected from 60 games, we would get 60 times 3 over 12. So first of all, we can cancel this 3 with the 12 to give 1 over 4. So now we're looking at a quarter of 60, which is 15, or 60 divided by 4. So this is how many winning scores you would expect. Express 48 as a percentage of 400. So if we're trying to find a percentage of one number as another, we first of all divide by that. So I'm going to write this as a fraction. So it's 48 over 400. And then to turn it into a percentage, we need to times by 100. However, these two zeros will cancel with these two zeros. So we end up with 48 divided by 4, which is 12%. 45 in a ratio of 8 to 1. So we're going to start off by doing 8 plus 1 is equal to 9. And then we find one portion by doing 9 into 45. I'll do this as a division, which is 5. So one portion is equal to 5. So 1 times 5 equals 5. So that's the one portion. And then what's remaining, which is the other 40, so 40 minus 5, 45 minus 5, is equal to 40. We can also check our answer by doing 5 times 8, which is also 40. Express 1 minus 1 over 2 to the power 3 as a single fraction in the form a over b, where a and b are integers. So integers are whole numbers. So this is 1 minus 1 over 2 cubed, which is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So next up, we're going to have to make a common denominator of 8. So to get 1 with a denominator of 8, we have to times by 8. So that's going to be 8 over 8, and 8 divided by 8 is 1. So we know that that's right. Minus 1/8. So this is equal to 7 over 8. Number 10. A number machine is shown below. Input, decrease the number by a quarter of its value. Output. For a given input number, there will be an output number. The output number is then fed back into the machine as the next input. This process is repeated many times. The input number is 512. What will be the first output number, which is less than 300? Okay, so if the number is dropping by a quarter each time, that means we're finding 3/4 of the value each time. So we can do this as 512 multiplied by 3 over 4. So 512 is divisible by 4 because 100 is divisible by 4, and so is 12. So there are 4 in 5, carry 1. There are 2 4s in 11, carry 3. And there are 8 4s in 32, so it's 128. We're then going to do 128 multiplied by 3. So 3 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 2 times 3 is 6, but we have to add the 2, so that gives 8. 1 times 3 is 3. So the next input value is 384. So we now have to do 384 times by 3 over 4. And we can do the same divisions again. So what we can do is, let's do it here, 4 into 384. So there's 0 4s in 3. There are 9 4s in 38, but that will give us a remainder of 2, and there are 6 4s, so it's 96. So now we have 96 multiplied by 3, so 6 times 3 is 18, carry the 1, 3 times 9 is 27, add the 1 is 28. So this will give us our final value of 288. Okay, now we have a rotate the shape shown by 90 degrees anti-clockwise about the origin. So this shape is going to be moving into the bottom right quadrant of this graph. And it's rotating around the origin, so this basically means we have to not quite reverse all the numbers, but can you see that this point here, this corner, is at 6, minus 6 minus 1. So that's going to go down to minus 6, or 1 minus 6. From here, we can come down to this point, and then here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get to there. It goes up 3 squares to there, across 1, and this allows us to move this shape. Translate the shape shown by the column vector minus 1, 7. So this means the minus 1 means everything's going to shift a minus unit, 1 unit in the x direction. So it's going to shift this way. And then the 7 on the bottom means it's going to move 7 units in y. So it's going to go up 7 units this way. So let's take this point. So this is at minus 1. So if we add 7 to it, it's going to go to 6. But we know it's going to move also from minus 7 to minus 8. So it's going to be here. And again, we just count its 5 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 3 across. 1, 2, 3. Up 1, back 2, up, and complete the L shape. In an exam, you would use a ruler. So write down the column vector that will reverse this translation. So to do this, we just have to swap the signs. So it's going to be 1 over minus 7. And I'll try and make that look more like a minus 7 as well. Express 375 as products of its prime factors in index form. Okay, so this one we do the tree method. So we start off with 675. So this is going to be divisible by 5. So that's the smallest prime number that's going to initially go into this. And then 675 divided by 5, well, there's 5 in 6, carry 1. There are 3 5s in 15, carry the 2. And there's 5 5s in 25. So this will give this number as 335. So again, this is divisible by 5. So again, we can do our divide. So 0 5s in 1, 2 in 13, carry the 2. Sorry, carry the 3 and 7. So it's 27. So 27 is divisible by 3 and 9. 9 is divisible by 3 and 3. So we have 2 5s, so this is 5 squared, multiplied by 3 3s, which is 3 cubed. (360) as a product of its prime factors in the form of 2 cubed times 2 squared times 3 squared times 5. What is the smallest whole number that 360 can be multiplied to give a square number? So 360 looks like 36 times by 10. 36 is a prime number. Is a square number, but 360 isn't. However, 60 times 60 is 3,600, because we can just do 6 times 6 and then add the 2 zeros on. So that's the number we need to multiply this up by. So this would be 3,600 is square rooted to give 60. Therefore, we need to multiply this by 10. So what is the smallest whole number that 360 can be multiplied by to give the square number? So it's going to be 10. Simplify each of the following and circle the answer in each case. So we've got m to the power 4 times m to the power 3. So the base is the same, which means that when we multiply, we add the powers. So we got 4 plus 3, which is 7. Similarly, this one's divide. So it's again, same base of m. So we take away. So this is 50m to the power of 15 minus 5, which is m to the 10. Write down an expression for the nth term in the following sequence. So this is arithmetic, so it's going up by 7 each time. So we're going to start with so there's a number of ways we can actually write this. So we can take the first number, which is a, and we can call the difference equal to 7. So we're going to start off with a, and we're going to multiply that by n minus 1, or add that, sorry. So we can do a n minus 1 multiplied by the difference, which is 7, and therefore this would give 4 plus 7n minus 7. So this would give us minus 3 plus 7n. List all the integers that can satisfy the following inequality. So we're looking for we want 2n to be equal to all the numbers between 13 and 19. So we're looking at 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. However, because n has to be an integer and we're dividing by 2, we can't divide the odd numbers. So n is equal to 14 over 2, which is 7. N is equal to 16 over 2, which is 8. And n is equal to 18 over 2, which is equal to 9. So this question I'm going to struggle to do on the on this tablet because I don't have a compass that would work on it, so I'll just talk through what we would do. So what we would do is, using a ruler and a pair of compass, construct an angle of 60 degrees. So what we would do is measure the distance between A and B and set our compass to that, and then we would draw an arc when we put the compass at point A. We would then put the compass the point at B, so A is where the pencil would be, and we'd draw another arc, and then this would draw a equilateral triangle of 60 degrees in each corner. R is a point on the line. Using only a ruler, a pair of compasses, construct the arc. So again, from this we would put a ruler at R and L, and therefore we would get a point on the other side. So this distance here is equal to this distance here, so we'll call those both X. And again, we can draw arcs from these points. So we would do then the distance of 2x, so we would put the compass at the arc we've just drawn, or the point we've just drawn, and at L, to give a triangle which is which is equilateral on both sides. And we can also do another one down below, so we'd have the points here where these are also 60. And if we join those 2 points together, we would get a straight line going through R if we were to draw it accurately. Okay, again, using another one which we can't really do on this device. Using only a ruler and a pair of compasses, construct a perpendicular line from point P onto the graph. Okay, so same general principle. If we measured this point to this point with the compass and drew an arc, and then we measured from this point to this point, we would get our same intersects, and then we could draw a similar triangle over on this side, and that will give us our right angle 3. Right, the shape below consists of a semicircle attached onto one side of a right-angled triangle with lengths AB of 8 and BC of 6. BC is the diameter of the semicircle. Calculate the perimeter of this shape. Use pi as 3.14. You must show all your workings. So first of all, I'm going to find the length AC, and I'm just going to call it X. So this is Pythagoras' theorem, so we can say that X squared is equal to 6 squared plus 8 squared, which is equal to 36 plus 64, which is equal to 100. So X is equal to the square root of 100, which is 10. This is also known as a Pythagorean triangle because this is a 3 4 5 triangle. So we could have found 10 using that answer. So next up, we need to find the arc C to B, or B to C. So the circumference of a circle is pi d, but this is going to be pi d over 2 because we only are interested in half of the circle. So we have pi over 2 times by 6, which is the same as doing pi times 3. So we got 3.14 multiplied by 3, which is going to give 2 carry 1, 4.9 and a 9. So we have 9.42, add that to 8, add that to 10, and this gives us 1827.42 centimetres. Question 16. Two time periods are measured as 4 hours and 40 minutes and 2 hours and 50 minutes, each measured to the nearest 10 minutes. What is the longest possible sum of the two time periods? Give your answers in hours and minutes. Okay, so if it's measured to the nearest 10 minutes, we have to add or subtract 5 minutes from each of these values. Because we're looking for the least possible sum, sorry, not the largest, least possible, we need the two smallest numbers. So we're going to have 4 hours and 35 minutes. And we're going to have 2 hours and 45 minutes. So 35 plus 45 is equal to 80 minutes, which is equal to 1 hour 20 minutes. So we have 2 plus 4 plus 1, which is 6. No, it's not, it's 7 hours. And then we've got 7 hours plus the remaining 20 minutes. So that's the shortest, least amount of time. Okay, Whitney walks, cycles or travels on a bus to work each day. On a random day chosen, the probability she walks to work is 0.25. The probability she cycles is 0.45. At work, the probability that there is a fire drill on a random chosen day is 0.04. How Whitney travels to work is independent of whether or not there is a fire drill. Okay, so we just need to complete the table. So first of all, if we go down effectively a column, they should add to 1. So we've got 0.25 plus 0.45, which is 0.7. Take that away from 1. So we've got 1 minus 0.25 minus 0.45. That's equal to 0.3. Same for each of these sub-branches. Each sub-branch should total 1. So this is going to be 0.96. And because it's independent, we can just fill this in for the rest. So on a randomly chosen day, what's the probability that she walks to work and there is a fire drill? So for this, we're going to go along a branch and along here. So we multiply when we do this. So we have 0.25 multiplied by 0.04. So we can, for this, we can do 4 times 25, or 4 times 25, which is 100, but we need to have a certain number of decimal places after. So another way to look at this is a quarter, because 0.25 is a quarter of 0.04, which is 0.01. Okay, so these questions come up a lot, and it's basically asking whether the fins are a length, an area, or a volume, or neither. So this one here, we have effectively W times, so if we replaced this with a real life situation where L, B and H are all in centimetres, so you're adding a load of lengths together. So this is a width times effectively a length, which is an area. This one is sort of a centimetre cubed plus a centimetre, so that's none of these. This one here is centimetres cubed over centimetres squared, so that's a length. This one is centimetres cubed minus centimetres cubed, so that's a volume take away a volume, which is still a volume. And this last one is an area, so this is centimetres squared over centimetres. So if you divide an area by a length, you get a length. Question 19. Express this in standard form. So standard form is a number followed by a decimal followed by another number if it's possible, times it by 10, and then we look how many places we move the decimal point. So we moved 1, 2, 3. Because it's moving to the right, it's a minus, so it's minus 3. Calculate the value of 3 times 10 to the 17 times 2 times 10 to the minus 12. Give your answer in standard form. So for this, we do 3 times 2, which is 6. And then we do times 10 to the 17 times 10 to the minus 12. So this is similar to the question where we had m to the power 4 times m to the power 3. We can add across the powers because it's to the same base. So we got 17 add minus 12, which is 5. So we add this, combine this together to give 6 times 10 to the 5, which is 600,000. Now we have an addition one. So for this we want the powers to be the same. So I'm going to write 2.3 is 23 times 10 to the 3 because I've added it times the 2.3 by 10. Therefore I have to take a 10 effectively off the power of 4, which brings it down. And then I have 5 times 10 to the 3. Because the powers are the same, we can now just add. So we have 28 times 10 to the 3. And we need to convert this back into standard form. So this is 2.8 times 10 to the 4 because we have to divide by 10, which adds an extra power of 10 onto the powers. Finally, we have xy is a tangent to a circle with O at the centre and point A. YO is equal to 54. What percentage of the circle is shaded? You must show how you calculated your answer. So first of all, I'm just going to call this value here as x. So x is equal to 180 minus 90 minus 54, which is equal to 36 degrees. So normally the area of a circle is pi r squared, but we need to look at this as a ratio of 36 over 360. So what we're going to end up with is, if we are trying to convert this into a percentage, we need to know that the total area of the circle, so this is equal to area shaded. Total area is pi r squared. So we can do this as 36 over 360 times by pi r squared. To work out a percentage, we divided by the total, which is pi r squared, and then we times by 100. So we end up with the r squared and the pi cancelling with the r squared and the pi. So we have 36 over 360 times by 100. So 36 goes into that once, 36 goes into this 10 times. So we have 100 divided by 10, which is 10%. There is a much easier way of doing this without having to show all this, where you just find the ratio of, you just realise that you don't have to worry about the overall area, so the pi r squares, which initially end up cancelling. So you could do this as 36 over 360 times 10. What tangent property of the circle did you use in order to answer this question? So a radius making a radius making contact with a tangent is equal to 90 degrees. So that's where I got that 90 from above. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you for more maths help very soon.